All right, here we go. The third question on our warm-ups is slightly different. As you can see, this question has an inequality sign in the middle, right? This question has this inequality sign here in the middle where our previous questions had equals signs, right? The previous two have equal signs. This one has that inequality, a less than sign in the middle. Our steps are all going to be the same. We just have to remember one rule, and if that does pop up in this question, we'll make sure we mention it so that you're aware. But to start, like I said, our steps are going to be the same as if this was an equal sign in between our two equations on the left and right of the inequality. So I'm going to take my 3 and I am going to distribute that 3 to both terms inside of the parentheses. Everything else will just drop down. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times negative x is negative 3x. I have my less than sign, and I have negative 2x plus 3. Just like if there was an equal sign in the middle, I want to have my variable terms on the left, my constant terms on the right. Remember, variable terms are any terms that have a letter attached to them. Constant terms are terms that are just numbers by themselves. I have a negative 3x over on the left, so that will stay there. I want to take my negative 2x, which is on the right side of my inequality sign, and move it over to the left side. It's a negative 2x, so to move it, I have to do the opposite. I'm going to do plus 2x. What I do on one side of the inequality, I have to do to the other. So plus 2x. The 6 drops down. I have a 6. Negative 3x plus 2x is negative 1x. You can write the 1 in if you want, or you can just write it as an x. Either way. Less than sign, negative 2x plus 2x, those go away, they cancel out, and I'm left with my plus 3. That drops down. I have a 6 on the left-hand side of my inequality sign. I want to move that to the right, so I am going to subtract 6 because this is a positive 6. So I'm going to do the opposite sign. I'm going to subtract 6. What I do on one side of the inequality, I must do to the other, so minus 6 on the right side of the inequality. My 6's on the left side, 6 minus 6, that's 0. They cancel each other out. I'm left with negative x is less than 3 minus 6 is negative 3. Use your calculator if you're ever in doubt, or even better yet, just use your calculator so that you don't make a mistake. Even if you think you know, it's always a good habit to get into. Okay, here we go. Here's our rule that we have to remember when dealing with inequalities. I have negative x is less than negative 3. I don't want to know what negative x is less than. I want to know what positive x, right? I want to get this negative x to be a positive x. This is really negative 1x. It's saying negative 1 times x. So to get rid of that negative 1, I have to do the opposite operation. The opposite operation of multiplication is division. So I have to divide by negative 1. What I do on one side, I do to the other. Divide by negative 1. When I divide by a negative number, I have to flip my inequality sign. When dividing by a negative, flip the inequality. So now instead of pointing to the left, it's going to point to the right, and it's going to become a greater than sign. So x is now greater than negative 3 divided by negative 1 is a positive 3. Again, use your calculator if you're unsure of your negative rules. X is greater than positive, x is greater than positive 3. So I look, and that's going to be choice D. Again, if you have questions, if something doesn't make sense, please make sure you are asking questions in class. Otherwise, if you need help with the next question, please make sure to watch the video, follow the steps, and hopefully that will clear up any questions you might have. Thanks for tuning in.